Harper Paperbacks and Harper Audio present Perfect Happiness, a novel by Kristyn Kusek Lewis. Performed by Candace Thaxton. 1. It is just past 8 o'clock on Saturday morning when Charlotte McGanley hears a strange rustling and looks up from her coffee cup. She is sitting outside on her back porch at the weathered, wooden IKEA picnic table that she and Jason bought 15 years ago, just after they married. Her journal is in front of her. She's trying to indulge in what has always been one of her favorite rituals of the season, a few moments alone outside with her coffee in the finally warm sunshine of early spring, the house to her back still quiet. When her daughter was younger, this was a time Charlotte cherished. Jason would keep Bertie inside, occupied with Sesame Street or Cinnamon Toast or Chutes and Ladders, and Charlotte would scribble away, her thoughts pouring out of her so easily that by the time she came back inside, she felt cleansed, light and serene, like she'd just emerged from under the hands of a very good masseuse. But lately, even though she has plenty on her mind, the words won't come. She sighs, her pen hovering over the page. Her intentions are good. Writing in a journal, or journaling, as they say, which makes it sound more physical, but also a little pathetic, she's always secretly thought, is one of the core habits that she prescribes to her students and readers. Not only has she personally found that it works, back when she and Jason tried to have a second child and ultimately failed, it was actually one of the things that got her through, but the research clearly supports it. People who journal are happier, more resilient, more grateful. Just last week, she told her undergraduate students that keeping a journal is the psychological equivalent of taking your vitamins. And yet, the only thing she's managed this morning is a doodle of a trailing flower vine along the upper right-hand corner of a blank page. What's that phrase, she thinks? Squeezing water from a stone? That's what she feels like lately. The stone. Quick, like a lightning flash, her mind flickers on Jason, how the night before he'd called her cold. An awful thing for a man to call his wife. Too close a sidestep to frigid. She hears the sound again and looks up. What is it? And then it stops. She flips back to the last time she wrote and, noting the date on the entry, feels a sense of defeat. It was 9 days ago, and even then it was a half-baked gratitude list consisting of 3 unimaginative items, bullet-pointed with little ballpoint pen stars. Coffee. Slept through the night. No rain today. The rest was a scribbled smattering of reminders in the margin of the page. Call orthodontist. Bertie checkup resketch. Window washers? Amazon. Laundry detergent. Did I remember to put the new checkup appointment in my calendar? She thinks. And then she hears the noise again, louder this time, and jumps, a little yelp escaping from her mouth. Jesus, settle down, she scolds herself, running her hands over her face. Maybe she's off because of the extra glass of wine last night, she thinks, feeling a twinge of shame for having drunk it only because it was Friday and she was bored sitting on her end of the couch, scrolling through Instagram while Jason watched the hockey playoffs. Was this why they both worked so hard all week, she'd thought? For this? She feels a sinking darkness, like she's slipping underwater, remembering their bickering before bed, how she'd caught a glimpse of Jason rolling his eyes at her just before she turned out the light. Hearing the rustling again, she takes a last gulp of lukewarm coffee from a mug with "Do more of what makes you happy" printed on its side, and stands, determined to find the cause. When she steps off the porch, the wet grass tickles her feet, dampening her slippers, and she reconsiders for a moment, glancing toward Mr. Marchetto's house, where she can see her neighbor in his open window preparing breakfast. But that sound! It's almost like cellophane crinkling, but there's a chirpy squeaking, too. Maybe chipmunks? She's used to spotting all sorts of animals in her yard. People back home in Georgia can't believe her when she tells them, but even though she's barely 5 miles from the D.C. line, she frequently sees deer,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?